Hey everybody, welcome back. And today, I feel like with enough time spent, we can do a thorough breakdown and review of the Daisy 1999 BE Bullseye. Some of the key highlights that separate this gun from the rest of Daisy's lineup are a red trigger with a red band, has black plastic molded stocks. Of course, you notice the hoop lever. They've incorporated a Picatinny rail on top, and they've also thrown on a fiber optic front side. So after our unboxing and the initial rundown of the Daisy operator manual, as a side note, I'd like to add that I like how their illustration here incorporates the wide body Daisy pattern of yesterday. Really like that. But after we've unboxed this thing, we're left with the gun itself and the rail on top. I've been shooting this open-sided for a while, and not to get sidetracked, but I thought I had a scope for this. I got a Ruger Airhawk Elite 2 that I bought a few years back, and I like shooting open sights with it, so I took the scope off of it. I never used it, so I threw it on eBay. I sold it to a fella. He turns around, he says he didn't like the way it fit. I thought no big deal. We'd done a return on it. I'm on my way out to the shop one day, the mail lady shows up. I get the package in my hand. I throw it down under the toolbox, you know. So all this time's passed, and here I am. I picked this puppy up. Said I got one at home. So I never did open this package. I get home, I open the package, and I'll be danged if the sucker didn't swindle me out of the scope rings. So I got no way to mount it. Well, karma's coming, buddy. Just wait. But back to here, you know, I've been shooting it open-sided. It anchors in the rear with the top of the gun stock screw. On the front, it's anchored in place with the where the elevator sight would be on a Red Ryder. It's got a long nose on it, and what I did, or what I have yet to continue to do, is the rear hole, I'm going to elongate it to where this slides forward and backward, and I'm going to try to router out a trench down through the center of this later on in the future, to where I could mount a scope and also peek underneath it and see where I'm at on my standard sights. In the front of this, I also made a real crude rotary air stair step on it, so it will be able to go forward and backward with adjustment. They claim adjustment on the gun, but the only adjustment that you really get with the rail is the windage, if you wanted to bend and tweak this to your liking. So if we come over and we place it, the Red Ryder, over the top of the Bullseye, we see that they're both pretty much identical in almost every aspect except for the obvious. Now, for those that are on the fence about the plastic gun stocks, one thing that I can really attest to on it is the overall feel of the gun stock. Aside from the texture, the overall feel of it, it feels somewhat more softer. I think the survivability of this gun stock compared to older model Daisies is going to be pretty good with, you know, just routine overall care. Just for a demonstration, you know, I've got my old 103 gun stock here, and it's got the common fail point on top that a lot of the older plastic models did. I really don't feel like that's going to be an issue with this, you know. The compositry almost feels somewhat different, and I imagine it is, considering, you know, this gun stock's probably close to 40 years apart from this modern one. Another cool key detailed thing that I'd like to add into this video is, you know, the BB travel. Whenever the BB goes down, travels back and forth every time you tip it to cock it, is the sound that it makes. You know, with the Red Ryder, it's all to do with the plastic stocks. You know, with a Red Ryder wooden stock, you know, same story for any other wooden one. You know, whenever your BBs travel, listen to the sound. Now, I only have a few BBs in this Bullseye here right now, but listen to how it sounds. It has a higher pinging sound to the inside of it when your BBs travel, and that sounds pretty cool to me. I'm kind of digging it. So how well does it shoot? Well, overall, I'd tell you that it shoots a lot just like any other standard Red Ryder, you know, spot on. But I mean, we'll take it out to the shop. I got a little test wall I could set up, and we'll pop some shots off with it and run a couple numbers and see what happens. So here we are out in the shop, and let's do a quick rundown and a number check. See where we're sitting at. That 270 looked pretty nice. The 272 looks a little better. So now that we've seen where our numbers lie, let's take a look at the target that I got switched up here. And it's just some kind of a chip box with a square target on it. And I'm not really about the bullseyeing, but we're going to give it a shot, and we're just going to pay more attention really to how well it groups. So let me get the camera set up. I'd say here in the shop, from the distance from where I'll be shooting in this corner over here by the mini bike, I'd say it's probably close to 15 foot, 16 foot maybe. I don't know. I wish I had a rangefinder for this. I'm going to throw 10 shots on this target. Let's see where she's lined up at. And here we are on the target with the results. Looks like about 13 holes I shot. Maybe an extra one or so. This one here's pretty good. Maybe 2 went through it. I'd say overall it felt like a pretty decent little grouping together. I mean, not every shot's exactly identical, shooting free and open. And lastly, we'll do some soda can shots, still at the same distance. We'll just make this can dance around a little. Well, looks like we killed the can. Well, I guess that about sums up my review of the 1999 Bullseye, guys. It's a hell of a little shooter. I really like it. I like its overall aesthetic and appeal. The red still really sticks out on it. And now for the dark side. You guys have been following my channel here for a little while. You know what I do. And whenever I originally set out to get this gun, to purchase it, I didn't really understand how I wanted to approach my build. And the more I've shot this thing, the more that I've become accustomed to having it on the family lineup. I just can't leave this damn thing alone. So this is going to be a part 1 episode of the Bullseye. And in the part 2 episode that I'm going to make here in the near future, I'm going to invite you all along with me, and we're going to upgrade and modify this 1999 Bullseye, and we're going to see how it can do on the field. Until next time, guys, thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the flip side.